everybody, and welcome to the Unintangibles. I'm your host, Mo Aurora, and joining me, as always, is Jeff Shuela. Hello, Jeff. How's it going?
Good evening, Mo. Doing pretty well. Pretty pumped up. The eve of the NFL season.
Well, as of recording, yes, but when you're seeing this, everybody, it'll be Thursday. So tonight, finally, football's back tonight. Finally, no more preseason. We're now in football. No more wondering what's going to happen, waiting for it to happen. Finally, it's here. I can't wait. Jeff, how you feeling?
Yeah, no, man, I can't wait. I'm tired of all the pre-prognostications. Every player is amazing. We're making a case from anyone from the first round until the 18th round why they should be on your team. So I'm kind of tired of it, and I'm waiting for some of them to bust immediately, possibly.
I mean, yeah, I'm just ready for real results to ponder rather than all this make-believe stuff. Just our projections and our ranks and our optimism, like you said, right? Like, I'm ready for real football to obsess over now instead of, real fake football instead of fake football,
This is the fun time of the year, though, when everyone has their opinions and they're higher on certain guys, and it's definitely a fun time. But when there's no data, when there's no game film to watch, it's really just posturing on our thoughts.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of optimism, and actually, to that end, so we may have spoken earlier on an episode about how we don't play in a lot of leagues, either of us. And if anyone who asked me, I would have told you that I'm pretty content to play in two. But then yesterday, I just sort of got hit up and asked if I wanted to be in one. So I said, yeah, sure. And I figured it would be fun to show you guys my team, because I kind of just decided, let's just test out everything I've been saying, and let's make a team of all of my guys, and let's see what would happen. And I'll show you my team.
It was an auction, right? You said?
Yeah, sorry. It was an auction. It was a $200 budget auction, 12-team PPR super flex, offensive player flex. So this is sort of like everybody plays, right? Everybody starts.
We're both in a PPR for the first time.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, we're both doing PPR for the first time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is a wildly different format than anything I'm used to, and anything I say I like to play. So we'll see. I'll tell you right now, I made two mistakes. One is I screwed up my auto nominate at the end, and so I got a player I didn't want. And two is I chickened out on one of my guys. I chickened out on Kenyon Drake. So with that in mind, I'll show you my team. But so I gotta share my screen now, don't I?
I would say the auto nominate. So that's auto drafting. It's basically
yeah. So I had a couple bucks left. I was trying to get another quarterback. I screwed up and I didn't.
In our league, the last pick on auto draft was James Conner, and I forgot to grab him because I have Le'Veon. But so someone auto drafted James Conner, and they have them on their team now. So
okay, all right. So can you see my screen?
Yeah. There we go.
All right, here we are. So the team I inherited was Team Henderson.
Blow it up, though. Make the screen large. There we go. That's better.
That's fine. So the team I inherited was Team Henderson. I figured I'll just keep the name, and I put a picture of Paul Henderson scoring the goal in the 72 Summit Series. So enjoy that. But here's my team here. So I went all in on everybody I've been saying. I have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I was able to get Zeke for a good price, I thought. I missed Kenyon Drake because I chickened out. So what I did instead was, after I didn't get him, I just went ahead and got the next two best running backs available, Alex Collins and Derrick Henry. I got Stephon Diggs and I got Josh Gordon. I was able to get Jimmy Graham at tight end. I was happy with that. And I was able to get Carlos Hyde and Nick Chubb at running back. And I was able to get Sammy Watkins. And I was able to get Cooper Kupp. Will Fuller was a mistake because I switched auctioning from my computer to my phone, and in doing so, I screwed up bidding on my phone. And then Randall Cobb was the auto nominate that I didn't mean to get. One or both of those guys were hopefully going to be quarterbacks like Marcus Mariota and Mitchell Trubisky. Instead, I screwed up. But other than that, I got a lot of the guys that I've been talking about all year. And
definitely got a lot of standard-y guys, though, at running back. They're very non-PPR friendly.
Yeah, but I got a lot of them.
You did. Yeah, you did. But yeah,
that's the important thing,
Let's hope Zeke catches some balls, and Derrick Henry is probably not going to catch a ton of balls. What are your thoughts on Henry this season? Because I think he was hyped up a lot early in the summer, and I've heard a lot of experts going south on him in the last couple weeks.
I like him. I mean, obviously PPR, all the whatever. Am I still screen sharing, by the way?
Oh, I can see you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that it's PPR, the fact that there's just so many points available, I wasn't worried about it because it's like I said, right? I'd rather have an extra one of those guys, and it's because I didn't get Drake. So the idea maybe later is if I can trade two of them for one more later, but I would have rather had Drake. I like Henry though. I think he's pretty good. I think he's got a limited but defined role, and I think he'll be pretty good at it.
Yeah, no, I think your team is great. It's balanced. You have some guys that are good for the long haul, maybe the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on a sec. Do you have a backup quarterback?
No, I don't right now because again, that's because I screwed up. So I'm trying to find one, but
I'm a little worried about Mahomes, and I'll tell you why. Would you be able to pull up his schedule in front of you?
I could do that.
Being a schedules guy, I'm a little nervous about Mahomes because it's kind of brutal. Yeah, I mean, I know he's got the big arm. I know you're big on Watkins and the passing game, and so am I. But how much did you pay for Mahomes? Do you remember?
Oh, I only got him for $1.
Yeah,
it would have been great if I was able to get Mariota or Trubisky.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not so confident in Mahomes that I'm okay with only one quarterback in that league. That was just something I got to fix. But
I would love your opinion on who has a tougher schedule between Mahomes and Mariota.
All right, so I have the Chiefs schedule. Let me get the Titans.
Yeah, check that out. I have the Blake Bortles side of the schedule, which we can get to in a second. But I do like Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. I think do you lose a point on interceptions or 2 points?
2.
Okay.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I'm going for it.
Over under 15 picks this year.
Under 14.
That could be a bet right there. How many touchdowns is he going to throw? 30, 14 picks?
Yeah. Just better than a 2-to-1 ratio. Yeah, 30 to 14 sounds about right. I'll take that.
QB 10, QB 9. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think that's the push line though, is 15 for picks. I feel like that's the kind of the line right there.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Go ahead.
That's a good number to set.
Yeah,
but I'll say he'll get 14.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate on Mahomes. I know he's very sexy. He's probably the sexiest quarterback right now. So, what's his schedule, Mo?
All right, so in front of me, I have here opens at Los Angeles against the Chargers, then at Pittsburgh,
okay,
and then they're home to the 49ers, and then on the road in Denver against the Broncos. So that's tough. That's like 1 and 3 is possible.
What about his playoff schedule?
All right, let's see. Oh, I got to count now. 4, 8, 12. Okay. Hosting the Baltimore Ravens in week 13.
Okay,
I guess in week 14, sorry. No, okay. Sorry. In Oakland against the Raiders.
Okay, that's nice.
Right. Then hosting the Ravens. Could be kind of tricky. Hosting the Chargers.
That's tough.
And then in Seattle against the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's nice. The finals is nice. I guess so. Do you have to go through waivers to get a backup quarterback, just so a guy you can maybe play some matchups throughout the season, or?
Oh, I'm definitely going to. Again, I made a mistake. I'm trying to fix my team. Jesus, I don't know how much more you can say this. Imagine my team if I also had Mariota and Trubisky at the end. I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Somebody else screwed up and drafted too many quarterbacks, so I'm trying to get a trade in. But whatever. I'm new to this league. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. It's hard to get a trade done. A week. And then I'll be able to do something.
I screwed up at the FFPC draft. I thought there was 18 rounds and there were 20, so I was kind of drafting my defense and kicker a little too early, but whatever.
I mean, you can live with that.
I've never played on a team with 10 bench, so this is a new situation for me.
Okay. So, Jeff, I wanted to ask you. You brought up a couple other things off air. We had some last minute thoughts, some cold feet about a player, some more scheduling things. What's on your mind?
Well, basically, yeah. So, like, I kind of wanted to think about. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way in on streaming quarterbacks, but I don't know, man. Like, Blake Bortles usually finishes as a top 14, top 12 quarterback sometimes, and he just has a nice dreamy schedule, man. He starts against the Giants,
Okay.
Patriots week 2, Tennessee Titans week 3, the Jets week 4. I mean, nothing really scares me there. Would you agree with me there?
I guess if not so who's gonna be catching all these passes?
I think Keelan Cole and Moncrief and Dede Westbrook and
So okay, everybody, as you're saying, they're all gonna be pretty decent.
No. I just think Bortles will come up with some good totals at the end by the end of all this. Let me just run through the rest of his schedule. There, Kansas City, that doesn't scare me. Dallas, not really. Tennessee again, the Eagles. So that's the first kind of scary matchup in week 8. Then down the stretch, Indianapolis, which is always nice. Pittsburgh, which may be a little tougher. Buffalo, Indianapolis again, Tennessee, Washington Redskins in the second week of the playoffs, and against the Miami Dolphins in the Week 16 finals. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good,
man. So I feel like some of these good schedules. I mean, Andy Dalton, all the experts have him as a streamer in week 1 against the Colts. I mean, if there's going to be a bit of a rebirth I know we kind of trashed Andy Dalton a couple weeks ago, but I could see, and my girlfriend's laughing in the back because everyone loves the Red Rocket. But,
yeah, I mean, go ahead. Tell me on Andy Dalton again, please.
Yeah, I mean, AJ Green.
Trying to build a reputation with our audience here, and you're here telling people
and Dalton. I mean, if the team can stay healthy, he could be number 15 at quarterback this year. I mean, it's possible. Also, a good schedule for Dalton.
I guess, man. I just chase talent, man, and they don't have it. He doesn't have it. I don't think so. I don't think he's any good. I don't think conditions just haven't been right for Andy Dalton and then this year they'll be right and he'll be a really good quarterback. I think we've seen from him. He's not that good. And even with Bortles and with the Jaguars, I don't think I'm with you on that, man. I don't think their schedule is as good if you think they're not as good as they were last year, and teams like the Titans and the Texans are better than they were last year, and even the Colts are better than they were last year. Suddenly, that doesn't seem like that good a schedule anymore. I don't think they're that good. I think Miami, if Kenyon Drake is good, if Kenyon Drake's a good player, then against the Jaguars, that's the exact kind of game that a guy like Kenyon Drake does well and proves that he's a good player. Why can't there be a loss that Jacksonville walks into?
Well, hold on a
second. A lot more downside to Jacksonville than you seem to want to admit.
I disagree. Okay, so who were the Jaguars starters last year? Marquise Lee, Allen Hurns, and Allen Robinson for 3 snaps.
Okay.
I think that this year's version is better, man. I think the Keelan Cole, Moncrief, and Dede Westbrook trio might outperform the last year's wide receiver core.
I mean, good luck to you. Good luck to you. I don't mind Keelan Cole. I like him. He's my pick of those guys to be somebody in Jacksonville. But like, I don't. That's one of those teams. That's one of the situations I don't want to waste too much time trying to find the gold there. I don't think it's that shiny gold anyway. I'd rather just try to like go find more certain production somewhere else. Like I don't think there's a hidden gem there. I think it's.
I smell some sort of bet. I smell some sort of bet here. Maybe some sort of Blake Bortles bet, or
okay. Does Blake Bortles suck? Yes or no? I say yes.
Even Pat Mahomes. We could do a Bortles against Mahomes. I bet you that Mahomes doesn't finish four spots higher or less.
You think Mahomes will finish
maybe 5 spots higher?
Wait, hold on a second. Now you went from Mahomes versus Bortles to now Mahomes is running 4. Now it's 5. Come on.
How high do you think Pat Mahomes can finish?
That's not the question. Can he finish higher than Blake Bortles? I say yes. Do you think
Oh yeah,
Bortles
I
is
think he'll
higher
fit
than Mahomes?
Bortles, but maybe you spot me six fantasy spots or something.
6 now? No, this is the worst. No, I'm not. No, I'm not even entertaining this Blake Bortles bet. If you're not going to make a Blake Bortles bet with any guts,
No one's drafting Blake Bortles, Mo.
I hope not.
No one's drafting him, but people will be streaming him, and he's been overperforming.
I'll stream him. I'll be happy to stream him. I'm not drafting him.
He crushes his annual ADP.
There are guys that you're happy to stream, but it's not worth owning. And I think Blake Bortles.
We'll figure it out. I'm not going to sit here on my high horse and say that Blake Bortles is going to be amazing every week. Can I just talk about one player who I think people need to be aware of if they're still drafting? So I'll make it very quick. Obviously, Doug Baldwin. People are very wary of drafting Doug Baldwin. So if you do a little more digging, you'll see that Doug Baldwin plays 5 primetime games this year. So that's a lot of headaches. That's a lot of 8:30 starts. Mm-hmm. And I think for a guy that's going to be on the injury report every week, probably. And I don't like how the NFL changed. They removed probable tags a couple of years ago. You probably remember that. Everyone's questionable now. So it just makes the fantasy injury thing a little more sketchy and more nerve-wracking. So if you're going to draft or buy Doug Baldwin at an auction, make sure that you have Lockett or someone there because you're going to be dealing with 8:30 at night headaches. So.
Yeah, I'm not that high on Doug Baldwin either. Jeff, this is you taking your interest in schedules to such a degree that you don't want Baldwin because of what time of day you'd have to wait to set your lineup. We're really taking schedules to a new degree. But you're right, though, man. First of all, it's just the experience of playing it. You're right. It's a headache to own them. I wouldn't bother. Seattle just does not seem like a great situation this year. I'm sure somebody's going to be better than we think and whatever. But, like, why bother, man? Like, there's so many players that you can take. Some of them have a calculated risk on, but get some sort of certainty. Like, there's guys you can find. Just like some people are just attracted to all these headache players, so that when they work out, they get to act proud. Like I saw through all the noise, and I was able to get Doug Baldwin. Like, why bother, man? Just try to win. Just try to win with the healthy players that you already have.
Yeah. Well, okay. Raiders aside, who do you think is a bigger joke of a franchise, the Seahawks or the Tampa Bay?
Oh, Tampa Bay for sure. Sure, not even close.
I don't know if
I don't particularly like Seattle, but like
both drafted rookie running backs way too high this year.
Okay, go on.
Seattle lost their entire defense last year. I mean, I don't know if they could do anything about that, but there's something there. I mean, they lost 7 of their 11 starters. Like,
I would definitely say that this like recent incarnation of the Seahawks that's a Super Bowl contender every year, that's sort of over. We're watching the decline of that, but like to put them in the same category as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are horrible.
Yeah.
A horrible franchise. I don't even especially like Seattle all that much, but I will step up and defend their honor to say, how dare you and put them in the same category as Tampa. Tampa's in the same category.
I guess it was the day that they didn't give the ball to Marshawn at the 1 in the Super Bowl. I think that was the beginning of the end for the Seahawks.
Maybe.
I think so.
But I mean, they won 1 Super Bowl. They came that close to winning another one. They were, they've gone deep in the playoffs 4 or 5 years in a row. They've had a good run, man. That's a pretty decent run of sustained, not excellence, but pretty goodness,
I wanted to get your thoughts off topic on Le'Veon. Are you a Le'Veon owner? Because I am.
I'm not. I would, though. I would in the right circumstances. I think sorry, I'm chewing ice.
Adam Schefter tweeted about an hour ago that James Conner went 59th overall in a fantasy draft he was in tonight.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
See, again, that's another somebody's in a rush to be right about James Conner, right? But I think what I would do is, so in my auction league, I don't have them, but somebody in my league has Le'Veon Bell for just about the kind of salary that a running back like him would get in our league, but like on the low end of that. So it's kind of the equivalent of like he's the second pick in the draft, but he cost you the 4th or 5th pick in the draft, like that kind of discount.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing where that was enough. I think that margin, that like amount of savings, so to speak, that was enough for the team that had him to keep him, thinking, if he was available in the auction, he would go for this much money this year, right? If he was like with the team and available. So you can keep him at this price that's like, if he misses a week or two and starts off slowly, but then he gets it together, then great. That's how much I would pay it for that discount, So there's a price that's right for him. I hope we see him soon. I think we'll see him at all. And I think if you can get him at a discount, and if you can handle it, if you can stomach riding it out, like I think when he plays football, he will be really good. So
how many games is he going? How many games is he missing?
I would say if you put the over/under at 2.5, I'll take the under.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying 2. I was going to say he's going to miss 2 games.
I would say he'll miss 1 or 2 games. What happens? We'll get to this in a sec, but like Pittsburgh and Cleveland is one of the games that I'm really excited about this weekend. Pittsburgh's at Cleveland. There's a lot of questions that we'll have, but a lot of questions that might be answered, right? How good is James Conner? How good is Josh Gordon? Who's the running back in Cleveland? Are any of them good? Are Tyrod any good? Landry, all these guys, right? But what happens if Cleveland wins that game and they beat Pittsburgh, and then could that be the thing that sends Steelers into, okay, let's just get this done, and then Le'Veon's in the lineup in week 2? Is that possible?
We all know who Le'Veon's cheering for this week. We all know who Le'Veon's.
Is that possible? Could Cleveland beat Pittsburgh and then Le'Veon signs and is available week 2?
Yeah, I could see that as a scenario for sure. Definitely. I mean, I think we all want to watch Josh Gordon. I think he's going to play, man, a bunch. He's going to play a bunch. For them to think that he's not going to sit, he's going to sit there. It's only good for him to play, and I think everyone wants to see James Conner, I suppose. But I think everyone wants to see how the Browns are going to look on both sides of the football. So I'm excited for that game. Yeah, I'm wondering if this Le'Veon is going to make the team implode a little bit, because apparently teammates are now pissed, and that's a very touchy. It's a semi-touchy issue because a lot of players are definitely siding with Le'Veon, and the teammates want him back. So I know the Steelers had a bit of a issue in the locker room after the anthem situation last year in Chicago, when some players were out and some players were in, and people were talking about it. But either way, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not saying it's going to be the changing of the guard of the NFC North, but if Cleveland comes out, and it's a statement game for the Browns for sure.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's possible that we were talking about a sustained run of pretty goodness that might be coming to an end in Seattle. We might see that in Pittsburgh too. Who knows, man? It feels like I don't have a lot of cause for optimism in Pittsburgh. If anything, we're hoping for one more year of what they've been doing, but I don't know. Could be a season from hell. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about that game, though. Any other games that you have in mind that you're excited about?
Quick ones is obviously I think everyone's excited to see Saquon Barkley against the Jaguars. That's going to be obviously it doesn't get to be a bigger test than the Jags. So if Eli comes out and the Giants end up putting up maybe 21 points on the Jags and they look okay, that's gonna say a lot of good things about the Giants going forward. I think that's a statement game for the Giants. And the other game is the Deshaun Watson against the Patriots. So we're going to see exactly what Belichick does with that situation. And we're going to see if Brady looks good or not at 41 years old. So those are my 2 standout games for sure.
Yeah, and who Brady goes to, who the Patriots use, how and when. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in, Watson, how he looks. If Lamar Miller is not going to get lost running with the ball. Another game I'm interested, sort of quietly, that just because it was, there's a lot of questions about a lot of the guys in there, is Detroit and New York Jets. I think this is in Detroit, correct? You tell me.
Yeah, Monday night.
Monday night. Is it Jets in Detroit?
It is, yeah. Sam Darnold on the road, rookie.
Kind of an interesting game to me. Not like for all the fantasy studs in the game, but for all the possible fantasy flexes in the game. It's like just sort of confusing. Like, I'll tell you right now, I have a decision to make. I could either start Kerryon Johnson or Robbie Anderson as my flex. Jeff, who would you pick?
I'd take Robbie Anderson.
I think so too, right? But it's a possibility, right? But you also have guys like Golden Tate, Marvin Jones. How is Kenny Golladay going to figure into this? What's going to happen with Kerryon Johnson? I'm interested in seeing him. Is Matt Stafford going to quietly throw for 5,000 yards and nobody notices? Like, I think there's a lot of like, Crowell and Powell, like all these fringe players who like someone's going to be starting them in week 1, watching that game.
That's the flex game that everyone's going to watch that they don't want to watch.
On Monday night,
yeah,
a matchup is going to come down to like every matchup is going to come down to one player in that game. Somebody in every matchup is going to have one player in that game.
Well, it's the flex game. It's definitely the flex game. I wonder. I don't know if I'm going to have in that game yet, but yeah, probably Stafford actually.
Yeah. So tonight we have the Falcons in Philadelphia. Any thoughts about that? Anybody where the obvious guys with the obvious guys? Everyone who has Julio starting Julio. Everyone has Freeman. How do you feel about Freeman? How do you feel about Jay Ajayi? How do you feel about Nelson Aguilar?
I think those are the dudes that you can count on for tomorrow night, or for tonight, I should say. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But Calvin Ridley's there, Sanu is there, and then you have the Eagle auxiliary guys. I mean, Ertz is also still there.
Oh, of course, Ertz, yeah.
But I predict the Falcons are going to win that game, and I actually think they're going to win by at least 10 points. I think they're going to surprise because I think Foles, the hangover is about to start. And I think the Falcons are for real this year.
I think they're good. I think they are going to be not quite as good as they were 2 years ago, but way better than they were last year. And they were still, 10-6 last year? They're pretty
a little slow. I don't know what it was, but I know the defense is young. It's an emerging defense. They're a defense I would like to have as a fantasy defense for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Isn't there something about there's like a streak of the teams that lose the Super Bowl and then have a terrible follow-up season? And I don't know enough about it, so I can't actually quote it to you.
Yeah, unless it's the Patriots.
Right, yeah. Unless you're the Patriots or even the Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
But
the Panthers had a down year after the Super Bowl. The Falcons had a down year. Yeah, so it definitely happens.
It's the thing that happens. I'll research it so I can come up with my own metaphysical explanation for why it happens. But maybe it was just that. Maybe it was just the Falcons Super Bowl hangover year. Maybe what I think it is. What I think it is because that like New England Seattle Super Bowl, like where it's like two kind of powerhouse teams, that doesn't often happen. It usually ends up being one powerhouse team and then one team that like made it to the Super Bowl, And if there's always one team that is sort of the team that just sort of made it to the Super Bowl, they probably come from this like large middle class of teams that can go anywhere from 9-7 to 11-5, 12-4 kind of thing, depending on them, depending on the year. Sometimes they're coming off a bad season. Now they get a 4th place schedule. There's an extra couple, you know what I mean? There's like a fluctuation like that happens. Yeah. And so that's why like look at the Jaguars last year, look at the Falcons this year. They're both, I feel like those are both teams in the same sort of middle class, right? But like other factors can shake out that one of them all of a sudden is 11-5, one of them's 9-7, and vice versa, Maybe that's what it is.
Well, when you have Julio catching only 3 touchdowns, that's why, I think they got to just throw the ball to Julio for Christ's sakes. I don't know.
It's another conversation for another day. I mean, I don't know if you can. That's the thing.
Anyways, that was good, man. I hope everyone who's with us right now, they enjoyed the game tonight. We're all glad that football's back. And this is a fantasy show where we're going to be talking fantasy. I know there's going to be a lot of other issues, but, we're here to talk about fantasy. So
it's back. Football is back. It's back. I'm so excited. Enjoy it. Good luck to you in your games, in your leagues, in your matchups. I can't wait. Now it's the football season. It's a new season for this show, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So
after Aguilar gets 200 yards tomorrow, he's going to be huge in auctions the next day.
Yeah. Oh man, there's plenty more that we could talk about, but we'll do that off mic. But
You want to take yourself out here, and I'll get.
Yeah. Let's do it. Thank you for joining us on the Unintangibles. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back again soon. Hope to see you then.